Welcome back, Truck Sim fans. Today we're going to try out a different map. This is the Peru Death Road. These maps, this one in particular is very small. It's part of European Truck Simulator as well, even though it's South America. As you can see, it sits there on the map. It is a standalone one. So we have a new profile, a new truck, totally separate. I'm going to try and take this journey across this map, which is one of the longest ones that you can do in this game, from one side of the very small map to the other. But as you'll see, it's an interesting set of challenges when you drive these roads. I'm just turning around here, and normally would skip forward to the point where you would see the truck already loaded up or just about to set off with the cargo, but I just want to, since it's only just down there, show you some of the narrowness of the roads. If you can hear the rumbling noise there, the truck's partly riding off the tarmac. The roads are that thin on the way around here. This is one of the town areas, so it's relatively flat, but when you start going up into the hilly stuff, down valleys, up mountains and so on to deliver these things, you find that they get very, very twisty and tight, especially when they're basically hugging a cliffside. So here we go. We're going to pick up the cargo that we said, which was this tanker of kerosene, all the way over into the map through 3 other towns. The tanker is right in front of me, so I'll just pull up round the corner here and hook up. I don't know if you're like me, but I really like to just sit there in the cab, looking around rather than using the follow cam, the number 2 option. I just like to lean out of the window, hang my arm over the door, and then reverse it old style like this. Plus it gives me a chance to show off that nice shiny Volvo badge. So this truck is a 750 brake and it's a 6x4 chassis. I found this to be quite a good truck in terms of pulling ability. It's got the biggest engine option, but also 12+2 with retarders on the gearbox, so that's quite a range. Also gives you some pulling power to go with the heavier loads up these hills and things. It's still an automatic gearbox though. This map doesn't have any massively challenging bits and pieces that I would normally say switch to a sequential gearbox in order to handle. So we're going to go just follow the road around here. You can see the map, it's a little bit twisty. We're just going around a few corners, past, as it says there, a DAF dealership, to get to the next junction that we can see. We're following a car, a truck, a low loader, with a couple of tractors on. That's nice, isn't it? So these tractors and the low loader are going to pull off to the left. We're to the right, we are going to the left. There's the bus, hang back, let the bus come round the corner, even though it would come along anyway. So here we go, we're going to take our turn. Oh, there's a truck coming. Is he going to let me go? Yes, he's stopping. This is going to be a little bit more unusual than most journeys. I am actually going to move my head across so that you can see the rear view mirror at the side there. And now I'm just going to be quiet and let you enjoy the strains of some lovely classical music as we drive through the countryside of Peru. So as you saw there with the truck behind us, we can drive quite far across the verges on these roads. It seems like there's no problem with doing this, but I'm going to do something now just to prove that in fact some of those areas, those little grass verges towards the side here, have got some quite steep curbs to them. Whoops, there we go. Bump. Can you see that? Look, there's quite an edge to the road. If I back up on there, you can tell by the way the truck is reacting that it is up and down over quite a drop, even on the hillside, not the open side. Anyway, we'll just keep on driving and let's see where the music leads us. As you can see by looking in the rearview mirrors and the side of the doors there isn't much room, or there doesn't seem to be much room. However, when you get close to another vehicle, you can actually find there's more space than you think towards the edge, especially past these trucks. What happens in the real roads in these places is people stop and tend to inch past each other. Well, I'm not doing that. This is a nice fast downhill stretch. I will just let the old was it Isaac Newton take the driving seat and pull me forward using gravity. Sometimes it does get a little bit too much for the brakes, but hopefully not much, not enough to lose control anyway. 12 minutes you might notice the truck sounds have changed again. Unfortunately, the annoying little 4 Hz pulse was back in and made a mockery of all the noises that the Volvo was recording. So for the next 8 minutes, you've got it sounding like a US gas-powered van truck rather than a diesel-powered Volvo. Just to let you know, you can probably see this by the way I'm driving, I am actually using the full road. I'm looking as far ahead as I can, and this, where I see a blind corner like this one, I have to go carefully around it, but if I can see through a bend, I'm going to drive a straighter line, even if that means going over the other side of the road. Now this is something that the AI does not do, and it can be quite annoying following someone, for the AI drivers, who is sticking slavishly to one side of the road and slowing down an awful lot for it. What I'm doing is maintaining flow and speed through the corners. This will help get the job done quickly. As we come to one of the few towns that we're going to pass through, I will leave you with the music again. Now it's time to turn off one of the relatively big main roads and get back onto the hillsides. So immediately after we clear the junction, the road narrows again and becomes a lot more twisty. This is pretty much what it's going to be like all the way up to the destination. But for one added bonus, we are driving into the night, so now the road is narrowed with drop-offs on either side, or at least drop-offs on one side and that rather deep curb effect on the other side, and we're going to be losing light. We're going to be driving blind around some bends. Did I mention it was relaxing? We'll see. Now for the more eagle-eyed amongst you, you'll see that the gearbox was hunting up and down then. Even though it's an automatic gearbox, you can still knock the gears down as you approach a hill and have it in a more suitable gear to actually make it up there, thereby maintaining progress. Unfortunately, as we can see up ahead, there's a slower moving truck, and this is going to get in my way all the rest of the way up to the town. So at some points like this, the automatic gearbox doesn't always pick the right gear. In fact, it can often leave you dropping gears just because it's hunting around for something, dropping 2 or 3 gears as it goes. It's just the way of it. If this annoys you, you can go to the settings and switch to sequential and just control it yourself directly. as we pass this truck coming down the hill. This is one of the things that the AI gets wrong. It sticks slavishly to its lane and will not move out. So even though it's going uphill, like this truck is, it will brake to try and keep inside that lane. I'm not sure if blowing the horn actually makes any difference. It makes me feel good though.